Hey everybody, it's Rental Robert with the Hustle Nation here. One of the things that I hear a lot of people asking and talking about is having to do with credit score. What is it? How do we improve it? What does it make to go down, so to speak? And how do we bring it back up? So I'm going to go 3 things with you on how to improve your credit score that are not very hard at all. See, the thing is that debt is not a bad word. Consumer debt, however, can be absolutely deal breaker killer, okay? And the problem is that people will charge things that they get and receive that puts absolutely no money into your pocket, okay? Then before you know it, you're making minimum payments, you're not paying it off, it gets out of control, and then before you know it, it's, way out of whack and everything like that. And unfortunately, it's real hard to get away from that. Oh, it's Tyson, the real estate pit bull here. He just had to check on me and make sure, okay? So what we're gonna do, come on in, man, lay down, lay down. So what we're going to do is we are going to go over 3 different things to help you having to do with your credit score, okay? The first one, most important, is on-time payments. Numero uno, okay? You got to pay them on time, folks. Every time that it gets late, it dings you, it looks bad, it's not good, okay? This is a huge amount having to do with your credit score is by how well you pay your payments on time, okay? And what I want you to do from here on out is I want you to use your credit card, all right, to buy things that you would normally buy that aren't excess. And what I mean by that is that you use your credit card to buy gas, okay? I have 1 credit card. I've never made a charge on it. However, my cell phone bill is automatically paid with that credit card every month. Now what I do is as soon as it comes in, I pay it off in full. That way I never hit the interest, okay? That's absolutely critical, all right? The thing though is that a lot of people run up a bill $400 or $500 and then they're like, oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going, I'll pay the minimum payment and then I'll catch it up next month. And then before you know it, they put a couple $100 more on there. And then, I'm going to catch it up with the next minimum payment next month. And guess what? It never gets paid off. And then before you know it, it went from $200 to $350 and now we're at $700. And then before you know it, boom, $3,000. Woo! And that's better than NASCAR right there. So what are we going to do? We're going to start paying it off. The second thing is what we call utilization, okay? Magic number with this is 30%, okay? What that means is that if you have a credit card that has a $10,000 balance on it, okay, you can only use 30% of that, okay? As soon as you hit 31%, you look bad, okay? Believe it or not, it's not real favorable when you get from 25 to 30%, okay? So in other words, if that balance on that card reaches $2,600, it's not really great. Okay, what you need to do is make sure that Tyson, the real estate pit bull, goes outside. Now he's going to want to come back in. Watch. So we want to stay at less than a 30% utilization. Okay, and so the whole thing is, we'll say you have 3 cards. Okay, with $10,000 balances. All right, so that's $30,000 total. Okay. You don't want to have $30,000. You don't want to have $10,000 charged at any one time. And you don't want any one of your cards to have more than 25% charged on them at any one time. Does that clear? What I mean by that is that if you have one card that is $5,000, one card's $4,000, one card's $1,000, okay, that's 10 grand limit, okay. The one at 5,000 shouldn't have more than 1,300 on it. The one at 4,000 shouldn't have more than 1,000 on it. And the one that has $1,000 limit on it, it should not be more than about 250. Okay. Total, it needs to be less than 30%, and every card individually needs to be less than 30%. Okay. So if you got one card and it's like, oh man, this is really low interest, so I put everything on it. Quit. All right? If you're living on credit cards to pay your bills, you need to go get a part-time job, get a better paying job, get your side hustle, get something going, because credit cards are the absolute financial freedom killer. Okay? When they get off and running, it's really bad, and it's extremely difficult for most people to get out of it. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay? The majority of financial issues are not lack of money, they're behavior problems. The majority of financial issues are not lack of money, it's behavior problems. I said that twice because that's very important, okay? The thing is that it really doesn't come down to how much money you make, it comes down to how you manage the money that you do make and what you do with it, okay? You'll find so many rap stars, sports figures, lottery winners. They hit them big licks. They get those big contracts. They get that, sold out concert tour and everything. And they're broke. I mean, they're broke bad, And it's like afterwards said and done, they got nothing to show for it, okay? And some of these people were making $20 and $30 million a year. And you ask yourself, say, well, how does that happen, okay? Let's put it into context. $20 million a year, okay, means that you only get to spend $500,000 40 times, and then you're done. Kaput, okay? And the thing is that 20 million, you don't get all of it. You'd be lucky if you saw 14 million of it. Okay, so now we're at what's that, about $1,150,000 each month. Okay, and so then if you have a house, we'll say that costs $70,000 a month for maintenance and personnel to run this house and the power bill and everything like that. Okay, now you're down to $900,000. I mean, it's really, when you sit there and you think about it, I know it sounds like a tremendous amount of money. Okay. But when you start living at a certain level, it's not hard to go through that money, okay? And the majority of those people have a mindset is it's never going to stop. It's never going to end. It's always going to be like this. And the thing is that if you don't invest some money into something that's going to continue to put money in your pockets, yeah, it will stop. It's going to stop, and it'll stop abruptly, okay? Facts. Real talk, however you want to say it. Okay, so now the next thing that I want you to do, having to do to improve your credit is, and we've already kind of touched on it a little bit, is using your card. All right, use it for items that you normally are going to always do. You always put gas in your car, okay? You're always going to pay your cell phone bill. And even put your utility bills on your credit card, okay? The thing about this, for it to work though, is you've got to practice discipline. And that is that when you use that card and you pay that power bill, and say like that power bill's $350 and you got say a $1,400 balance on that card, you can't use that card any longer, okay? And I think I've got 5 cards, and what I do is I use them in rotation. I'll pull one out and I'll go and put 2 tanks of gas on it, and then it goes back in the drawer. I pull the next one out, 2 tanks of gas that week, back in the drawer, okay? My cards get used on items that I'm going to get and purchase no matter what, okay? I'm not going to stop driving, all right? Now, the thing about it is that most people will say, well, I'm going to go ahead and use my credit card, and I'm going to go to the movie theaters, I'm going to get gas, I'm going to get, I'm going to go buy a steak dinner and everything like that. I'm not telling you to stop living. What I am telling you to do is that if you're using those cards and they're putting you over that 30% mark, really even 25%, it's bad. It's bad on the algorithm as far as how they determine your credit score, okay? So if you want to stop doing that, then stop using the cards as much. Use them on the items that are absolutely critical that you're going to be using all the time. And if you don't have the ability to keep track of where you're spending at, then take the cards and just put them away and just have those bills that are a monthly reoccurring bill, such as the power, the water, the trash, gas, your cell phone, those kind of bills. Then just put those on the card and don't ever take the card out. Pay cash, use your debit, okay? The thing about it is that this right here, getting that credit score in line can be a tremendous help on your way to financial freedom, because if you got $40,000, $50,000 in consumer credit cards and you've got that room on the cards and something happens, then you've got the ability to take care of it. And so while you're trying to save up 6 months worth of reserves, we can use this as a backup plan, but it's not your primary plan, okay? It's a lot easier to get $50,000 in credit cards than it is for most people to save up 6 to 8 months worth of living expenses and have that liquid cash sitting in the bank, okay? I don't make the rules, but I do have to play by them, all right? Here's the thing, again, credit is extremely important because we can take and do loans on something, apply for a loan, get something that we can use to make money. You can buy a rental property, you can get a dump trailer financed, you could go and get a pressure washer financed. There's all kinds of things that you could do, and that's good debt, okay? Because that's going to put money in your pocket. Bad debt is something that, we go to the movie theater, we put $50 on the credit card, and then that's it. We might get some enjoyment out of that movie, but it's never putting any more money in our pocket. It's Rental Robert with Hustle Nation. I hope this has helped. Leave a comment. There's an email in the description. If you need to talk to me about anything, get in touch with me. Feel free to send me an email. I hope you're having a great day. Keep hustling, be productive, be profitable.